To the top right, we have the Terran player for Team FXOpen, the Towel Terran, it is.
GuMiho.
Nine-tailed fox, Towel Terran.
The map, of course, being the mother of all puns, it is Fruitland, and we'll see if GuMiho is able to eliminate the Zerg player to the bottom left of the map. It is for Soul.
Hyvaa.
Oh man, aren't you glad they put this map in the pool? It's just incredible what the things that you can do on this map with those lemons.
It's so good. Now this is definitely the most fun map that we had in a long time.
Hey!
And welcome to Korea. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for coming down.
Yeah, so right now we have with hyvaa, a player here in the game who has shown in the past that he really likes to be aggressive. He's very unpredictable. In general, in the matchup, it's not his strongest. He lost just recently to Innovation after winning against MMA. That was also in the GSTL, of course, first part of Season 2. He's 9-11 in this matchup, offline, in Heart of the Swarm. That leaves him with a 45 win percentage. And, sorry, 54. No.
Wait, what? What's happening?
I'm losing it. Like a 45 win percentage. I was wrong the first time. Right the first time. Oh my god, what's going on? I need more coffee.
I need to reboot my calculator. Like by calculator, I mean KHA calculator.
Exactly. I need to reboot my caldo. It's like GuMiho, on the other hand, is 26 and 24 in this matchup. That leaves him with a 52% win ratio in the matchup. So a little bit. A little bit better than hyvaa here, a little bit more stable in the matchup, you could say. Also a lot more maps played, so more experience. But this is a format where hyvaa feels at home. You can prepare for an opponent, you know the map. And I feel with what we've seen in the first part of the season, players now really make an effort to get those lemons on Fruitland to just get that edge in the mineral income.
Yeah, it's a lot easier than you might think to be able to get those lemons if you actually have map control. Something that GuMiho is going to want to take right away here with that early gas he's taken, getting the Reaper out, and also starts the CC.
I'm pretty sure that one of the players is going to demonstrate today what happens if you take those fruits in the middle of the map and try to take that edge once you gain map control.
Yeah, if you can control the map, you can actually do it multiple times. I think we had in one game recently, someone got 3 lemons, and maybe even 4, but that's a ton of minerals, 500 per trip.
If you get this many, it's very likely that you're going to eliminate your opponent. So we've seen this in the past several times, no lemons, no win. That is actually something that is still holding true. Like, if you don't get the lemons but your opponent doesn't, I don't think we had a single game where the player that didn't get the lemons won the match.
Exactly. In fact, you're absolutely correct. I can confirm. So a lot of annoying drone harassment by hyvaa this whole time. The early game, he sends a drone in, prevents the wall, he continues to harass, and he's poked the SCVs, he delayed the command center, and he actually made 6 lings, and he's hiding them. And I think he's going to try to stop the command center from finishing, but he sends the lings actually to the top left, and I don't know why. I thought maybe he was going to start working on the lemons, but he sent only 2 to where he could actually harass the SCV building. And he needs a target, and he does, and actually he will delay the CC, maybe even pick off the SCV himself. No.
Yeah, the rest of the lings are actually quite interesting. I'm not quite sure what he wants to do there. Maybe just spot a drop a little bit later or some kind of runner, but at this point in the game he doesn't really need that. Maybe he's just trying to just go in with the lings once that the Terran player leaves his own base, and I guess that's what he does.
He could also make banelings out of them.
He doesn't have a baneling nest. I don't see him getting one this early in the game. So I actually think that what I said first is exactly the case. He moves out with the Hellion and the Reaper, and now he tries to sneak in with the rest of the Zerglings. GuMiho doesn't really expect it, so now the lings can try to get in. And that's what they do.
They get in all the way here.
But there are already 3 Marines, and a nice micro here by GuMiho. No problems whatsoever dealing with this. Really well done. Splits the Marines like a boss and takes out all 4 Zerglings.
That was really well done by him. hyvaa's idea was interesting, but of course there were no SCVs to kill. Great deny here on 2 tumors, forcing the cancels there. And GuMiho's going for a really quick start port, so he's going to get into that drop play right away. Something he's known for, something he talked about during the preseason of the GSTL, right when Heart of the Swarm was in beta, saying, hey, the drops are actually really strong. They might even be too strong.
We have a lot of overlords coming in already for hyvaa at this point. 3 additional ones, not overdoing it just yet. Let's see if he adds more, but it doesn't really look like it. There comes the Baneling Nest, and I was just about to mention that he's actually getting a lot of gas, considering that he already started his speed upgrade. So that's a very fast Baneling Nest that he has here. A lot of creep spread also going down for him, and here come the Zerglings. So he could actually go for a very aggressive build and just try to bust his opponent, which underlines once again what we said earlier. He is an aggressive player, he likes this preparation style, and it might just be the build that he determined would be the best to take down GuMiho early in the game.
He's even going to show a third drone here at the hatchery.
He's actually taking it.
Yeah, he is. And well, he could still be aggressive. He made a lot of lings.
I mean, you can play the Baneling Nest also just as a defensive measure, especially when you have this much creep spread. It's really easy to make sure that the Terran player doesn't get too far ahead. Once that you have your own speed established, you have the Banelings, you can work against Hellions with them and also against the Marines. So that's something that he can do, and he will, since he already adds 2 additional evolution chambers. He wouldn't do that if he really planned to go for a simple Baneling Bust here.
Yep, and you know what? This attack here by GuMiho is definitely going to force a cancel on the hatchery. The run-by, on the other hand, going to be a slight annoyance. There's a Marauder in the bunker. That's all he's got. So he's going to lose some SVs. And meanwhile, there's a scan, and tumors are being cleaned up in the south.
You know, those tumors might actually give him the time to maybe get the Banelings into the picture, and then he might be able to hold that third base.
Well, the Hellions go for the natural instead. The Banelings, like you said, are ready. Needs to split. Show us that Baneling split, GuMiho. Great pullback by hyvaa on the Banelings. On the other hand, he saves them.
Also on the Zerglings, he just attacked for a little bit and then he moved back. He forced all those SCVs off the mineral line at the natural. Right now the third base is under a lot of pressure though. The Lings are already running in. He wants to keep that base. He doesn't want to go for the cancel, but he might have to. He's going with the Banelings off creep, and that's the problem. All of the Banelings gone.
Now,
nice micro by GuMiho here with the Hellions.
Yeah, now the hatchery's finished, so there is no possibility of a cancel, and this is all going to be cleaned up. The Queens need to run away here. They're actually in full retreat, but it's too late. Transfuse too late as well.
At the same time, the Zerglings are still harassing the natural of GuMiho, doing a lot of damage to the SCVs over there, or did for a little bit. But now the third base of hyvaa is going down. Of course, the Broodlings helping out a little bit and taking down a Marine or two. But at this point in time, same harvest account for both players, and GuMiho already being on the third CC. Things are starting to look a little bit dire here for hyvaa.
Yeah, look at that units lost tab. 400 versus 2,312. And basically everything went GuMiho's way and everything went wrong for hyvaa. He lost all of his Banelings because the creep was cleared up a little bit too soon. It was hard for him to get that engagement that he wanted. Not only did he not cancel the hatchery, but couldn't kill the army, and then he lost the hatchery. So GuMiho gets a great trade all around here. He even has a siege tank out right now to help defend against any counter pressure.
Banelings are spotted. Yeah, that was supposed to be like a run-by attempt to go into the mineral line. But what really went wrong here for hyvaa was that well, you have two choices. You can either cancel the hatch, or you have to hope that the hatch goes up and the creep is being spread. Because once that he moved off creep with his Banelings, that's when GuMiho could just use his micro to take down the Banelings. They all clumped up, he took them out, and from this point on, it was already given that the hatch would go down. hyvaa didn't just have enough Zerglings here, and he was relying heavily on the Banelings. And when they go off speed and you don't off creep, and you do not have the speed upgrade, you're in so much trouble against a player who micros properly.
Yeah, and you know, GuMiho continued to poise himself with the Hellions on the right side of the map, trying to find any run-bys. Maybe kept some tumors he can find. And, uh-oh, actually going to get caught here, maybe. Not quite.
GuMiho doing a pretty good job at controlling the map. He just wants to make sure that he knows everything that's going on. He knows that he slowed down his opponent significantly. He's currently upgrading his third command center into an orbital, and that will then give him already a surplus in income since he has the third mule then. But he's losing his Hellions now, and giving up the map control therefore.
Exactly. That's going to be a big problem for him. There's a huge Baneling attempt to run by here.
Should go for the lemons, to be honest with you. I think it would be a good move since he's already falling behind, and if he gets the lemons, he might be able to just come back. Oh, and nice split immediately by GuMiho. Very well done. Sees that happening.
That was a terrible trade. I can't believe he detonated like that. He could have done a million better things there. That was horrible.
And actually, hyvaa went for the lemons, but GuMiho saw it and he was immediately like, no, dude, you're not getting those 500 minerals. I'm going to get those. I have the map control here. I'm not letting you get back into the game.
Yeah. And GuMiho's about to start 2-2 as soon as that armory's finished. Goes for harassment. 24 Banelings being morphed right now. I feel like hyvaa is in super desperation mode right now. Poor control there on the medevac. Small victory for hyvaa, but the lemons being mined now.
Good control on hyvaa's Banelings. He was waiting until a few of the Marines were already unloaded out of the medevac. He did not sack one Baneling for one Marine, so that was really well done by him. And he's actually getting back into the game. He's still behind, but he's now on 3 bases that he has established, and he's trying. I mean, he's trying his best to really make sure that he has a chance in this game. At the beginning, it looked really bad for him when he lost that third, but he might have a fighting chance here.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. He's stabilized a little bit. He doesn't have a 4th base, but he can take one now that he's kind of established to back map control at the bottom of the map. GuMiho's next push here is so critical. If he can actually shut this down, then he will definitely be able to take a 4th base. Problem is he's going to be dealing with 4 siege tanks, 3 siege tanks in this army, which is not something Zerg players are used to dealing with in the Heart of the Storm. GuMiho going to have to target really well on the banelings, but again, this is just not something that hyvaa is going to be used to, but he's sieging a little bit late.
Yeah, the siege is late, and the banelings moving in. The siege tank is already gone. Another wave of banelings already on the way, trying to eliminate all of those marines, and most of them are already gone. Suddenly, the army supply really going low for GuMiho, but hyvaa is still in trouble. He's down to 30 army supply against 60. He's doing his best to stay alive in the game and maybe edge out a slight advantage in economy, since he's now taking his 4th base. But we have still the lead here for GuMiho, who's on the map, who's present, who farms the melons, who's trying to do the lemons, does the best that he can. So, but hyvaa is still fighting. He's still in this.
Yeah, he's still trying to make this work. That was a good defense there, and now he's able to start that 4th base like I was talking about before. But GuMiho has such a presence on the map. I feel like GuMiho could either try to force a cancel on that 4th base or try to get the other lemons right now easily, and it would be really hard for hyvaa to stop him. He doesn't have a whole lot of defense either as 3rd base, no bunker or anything like that, so run-bys could also be a problem if hyvaa could see this and capitalize on it. Nice control here on the watchtower. And what do you think about GuMiho adding in these siege tanks? It looked like at first it was defensive and then it was aggressive, and now he's stopped making them. He's starting Widow Mines.
Well, it's pretty much Wings of Liberty style that he played there. He went for a push with Stim early for the 3rd base, and then he started to add his siege tanks. So this is what you would see in Wings of Liberty. And it's something that Bomber also tried a little bit. Most Terrans will still go for the Widow Mines since they are just faster and more flexible. Medivac going down. Huge win for hyvaa here. Already making very good moves on the map, but still far behind in army supply. As you can see, 86 versus roughly 66. And the 4th base on the 5th for GuMiho, that's going to be an issue. That's the base that he's currently building. But I feel that GuMiho he lost a bit of his momentum that he had going, and the Mutalisks are really giving those siege tanks a tough time. Yep. You have to guard them if you go for siege tanks. That's one of the disadvantages you have playing them.
Yeah, certainly, and he switched out of them entirely here, but the Widow Mine is now more useful against the Mutalisks. Before there were Mutalisks, a big problem on the map. The siege tanks were great. Here comes a huge mainly run by from hyvaa. He loses a ton of lings to a Widow Mine shot, and frankly, he probably just couldn't see the Widow Mine underground there because it was behind the CC. Oh, wow, where are the splits? That actually, right there, gives hyvaa a huge edge back in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, what a mistake.
That was something that GuMiho just didn't see. He moved to the bottom right and he thought his army was safe there. He didn't see any units there, so he just moved to the bottom right. He was like, okay, as soon as I need those units, I'm using them. Now a bit of a misstep here by hyvaa, losing 3-4 of his Mutalisks there. Definitely not something that he wanted to happen.
Yeah, both of these players just throwing away gas as it is.
Yeah. I mean, at that time, I feel both of them not really realizing where this opponent's army is positioned. hyvaa with 480 APM there times, so pretty insane. 12 medivacs, also a huge amount of them.
Alright, this has got to stop hyvaa. He actually might get lucky again if GuMiho's not paying attention. Meanwhile, the drop to the left is spotted. The Mutas turn around immediately. And you know what? If he unloads all those, he can easily kill the Mutas. And GuMiho is not paying attention. However, neither are the banelings. He's going to get the lemons.
Yeah, gonna get the lemons, and we have an attempt to drop it left, but here comes that one bunker, and that is gonna be enough for now. Oh, last second pull here by GuMiho. That saved his units. Woo. Oh, wow. Mutalisks in the last second actually realizing that there's a double drop to the left side.
These guys are really just multitasking so much. There's so many things to be watching at all times. He's going to have to boost away here, and the Mutas are finally going to chase him down.
Yeah, but the base to the bottom right has to be cancelled. GuMiho now pushing his way farther into the territory of the Zerg player, establishing his 4th base at the right side of the map, and then using it as a bit of an outpost.
Yeah, is GuMiho going to be paying attention to this one? He's definitely going to want to stim and kill some of those Mutas if he can.
hyvaa's just falling behind in army supply, heavily at that, and his upgrades, I mean, he's getting there. He already has the +2 armor upgrade, he's going into +2 attack for his melee units as well as for air, and he's also trying to transition into hive tech, but it's gonna be a bit iffy for him. He's just falling behind in income very, very fast.
GuMiho not? Wow, this is actually so weird. If I could explain everything that happened there, it would take me like forever. He's got Marines there, doesn't see them, the Mutas don't see. Could have killed the Mutas or the hatchery, but he delays his attack.
I mean, at this point, actually, like, the income of hyvaa is better, but the 4th base, as soon as that comes into play and the SCV transition has been successful with the extra mules, it's going to be difficult for hyvaa to really keep up with this. For now, they are both 200 supply, and good moves by hyvaa here on the map. GuMiho even adding Thors now against the Mutalisks.
Yeah, and having Thors here against the Mutas is great. They can also tank banelings quite well. And later on, if he has enough of them, he can use them against Broodlords if it comes to that. Usually Vikings are the better choice, but with that new payload upgrade in Heart of the Swarm, or I guess I should say mode, not an upgrade.
Drops to the left,
yeah,
the right time to take down drones.
Yeah, he gets the 2 drones and the hatchery. And he's going to get a 3rd drone here as well.
GuMiho is just starting to really stabilize and to make sure that he has a solid position on the map. He's building missile turrets in the main base, just making sure that needleless flybys cannot do anything against him. And he also has that planetary to the right side of the map, so just establishing his outposts, making sure that there's no problem for him. Widow mines at his opponent's potential satellite bases. So really solid performance here by GuMiho. He had a bit of a iffy mid-game, I want to call it, when he lost quite a lot of his drops and also like the siege tanks.
Yeah.
But now he's doing a really good job at just having a very solid defense.
He just has so much mineral income. He got the lemons twice, and he's just always present on the map, destroying the hatcheries of Hyvaa. And Hyvaa is really trying to play this harassment-oriented style, but he's constantly on the defense. Great door shot there. I feel like GuMiho can actually start to be a little bit more aggressive directly, because he's just picking off a hatchery left and right, but he's never actually taken a big frontal engagement.
A big problem that GuMiho has here, in my opinion, is that he does not start his 3-3 upgrades. He just now started the armor upgrade, but for a long time he was already in a position where he could have gone for the upgrades. He definitely had the resources to do it, and he didn't. And now it's suddenly Hyvaa who takes the edge in the upgrades, and or will at some point. So that's going to be a really good position for the Zerg player here, who keeps just to establish his own satellite bases. So if he gets all of those and the added tech, then I feel he has a really good chance at taking down GuMiho in the late game. Who, by the way, adds a lot of factories right now and barracks for extra production.
Exactly, and I think with the factories, hold that thought, he's a split here. Thor's getting some good shots off, and he is going to be able to take out one of these hatcheries. He's going to go to the south and take out the 4th base. But meanwhile, the Mutas are doing a ton of damage at his own 4th.
The problem is the Mutalists don't really do too much. I mean, they were attacking one of the barracks, but once that was gone, he didn't attack again. So now he's sniping a few additional ones, and he just straight goes in with the Banelings, and he takes down the planetary. Well done so far. Oh my god, and all of the SCVs are gone. But the question now, of course, remaining, is Hyvaa able to stop this Doom job?
Here he goes. He's got 2 Thors, a ton of Marines, no, 3 Thors, excuse me. Queen, not long for this world, and now he's got a great position in the main base where he can control the ramp and take out any tech structures he can find.
The main base definitely a goner. A 20 supply lead in army supply for GuMiho, and Hyvaa knows that he has very small chance of walking up that ramp and saving his main base.
And he might lose 3-3. The Evolution Chamber going down here, the first one. Luckily for him, at least the tech is in another base. He doesn't have his lair here. He doesn't have his Ultra Cavern here, so that stuff's going to survive a little bit longer.
Just goes for the trade, though. He decides that the position that he has is just too bad, and he goes for the trades. He's trying to move in and take down the bases of GuMiho. GuMiho establishing 2 of his Thors at the ramp, making sure that incoming melee units don't do too much against him. And now Hyvaa just decided, you know what, I cannot stop this army. I have to just go for the counter-aggression.
Yeah, and I think that GuMiho needs to realize this is happening. He's actually moving out here with the second wave of an army. That's not what he wants. Turrets here well set up, but that planetary is going to go down almost instantly. Well, if he targets his Banelings properly, that is.
There we go, most of the turrets already gone, but losing a lot of his army supply as well. GuMiho is at 150 army supply against 86. So in a straight up fight, I don't see like a lot of chances for Hyvaa here. GuMiho so far is dominant.
Yeah, he really is, and it looks like he's going to continue that. Kaiki's plating, nearly done, but he will lose that Ultralisk Cavern as soon as GuMiho realizes where it is. And this army for Hyvaa is just a little bit too small, and all GuMiho has to do is continue to push back because his defense at his base, so that defender's advantage is really strong. He's got no workers, but that makes his army supply 152.
Really good decision making here by GuMiho, going for this massive drop. Took a bit of a risk there, of course, but still, it paid off so well for him. He killed everything in the main base. The one thing that actually kept Hyvaa in the game a little bit longer is that he spread out his tech and did not just put everything into the main. He had like tech structures everywhere on this map, and that was a really smart move by him. But he's running out of steam here. He needs a huge victory and maybe cut off a small part of GuMiho's army and take it out if he really wants to proceed into the next stage of the match.
It just doesn't look like it's going to happen because GuMiho smartly walks back here. Now, consider that Hyvaa, even though he's down a lot of army supply, he has really strong tech units. He has a decent amount of Zerglings he can make into Banelings when that nest is remade, and also he's got those Ultralisks, but GuMiho has a ton of income. He's got that production. He didn't need to really commit to finishing him off just yet. He stabilized. He retook his bases. Yeah, he's only got 26 workers, but with all the mules he has, it's going to be pretty easy. Oh, ouch, that hurts.
There's also a huge lead in the upgrades now for GuMiho, who is on 3-3. We have 15 medivacs to support the bio army that he has. All of the drones are biting the dust here, and this base is not gonna hold. I mean, he has no chance of actually making that happen. There's way too much DPS, and the position for melee units is horrible. Mutalisk taken out here, only one survives, and that one lone Mutalisk will be taken out by the double claw here without a problem at all. Ouch. So suddenly, hyvaa down to 86 army supply against 160. GuMiho is looking unbeatable in this game now.
Yeah, GuMiho got ahead early, but I don't want to understate his composition. It's so interesting to me. I mean, he's... Oh, hold that thought. Baneling's here trying to go for good connects. This is what I'm talking about. With good connects, he could maybe turn this around. Does not look like it. Not quite enough.
Yeah, not really, especially with GuMiho at the same time having the better production. And those Thors are doing a lot of damage to these Ultralisks. And of course, they take up the damage from Banelings that are not microed properly. He's really trying to set himself up with another base to get the income once again, but GuMiho just doesn't allow it. The Terran player, the Towel Terran, is on his way, and he is just wiping the floor with his opponent at this point. The army supply overwhelmingly in his numbers, 145 against 70, and better upgrades and composition.
Baneling Nest is dead, which means these 16 Banelings are probably the last ones we're going to see. Having the Marauders go at front to tank and try to snipe them. Here come the Thors. Thor's going to tank so many shots here, and then the Marines in the back doing the real DPS. And here we go. Already split here is GuMiho. The Ultralisk doing good shots on the Thors, but the Marines...
Yeah. Ultralisk doing their best here, but they're just not enough. It's a numbers game that he can't win. And he goes down 100 army supply against 20, sealing the deal here. Most of the Thors will fall actually to a few drones if he's not careful. Even the last Thor with 1 hit point survives, 9 kills so far.
Yeah, it's just too much here. And the Thors clean up all the drones. And hyvaa looks really frustrated with this. I don't blame him. Yeah. It was a tough game.
GuMiho eliminating his opponent here on Fruitland. And once again, it holds true. No lemons, no win.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like his style. Going into this early siege tanks before the Mutas are out. When the Mutas come out, he switches to the Thors. Not only to deal with the Mutalisks, and makes you basically, when the Thors are out, the Mutas are doing nothing. GG.
They were definitely a great support here.